Welcome back, everybody. Today I'll be showing you a more in-depth tutorial on how to build a settlement. Hopefully you have watched my beginner video. This is the more intermediate one. So, to start, I have everything scrapped. That is normally the first thing I always do in building a settlement. More intermediate tip when scrapping: if the outline is yellow, it means it's just junk. Straight up scrap it. If it is green, it means it can be moved, stored, placed, one of those things, or all of them. Now, once you've scrapped everything, just like I've showed in the last video, you'll normally start out with little or no settlers. So the first thing I always do is I head down to power, and I plop down a small generator right behind my workshop. And just to get started, I place in power miscellaneous, you will find recruitment radio beacon. I'll just place it right by my generator. I'll hook up the radio beacon by pressing space while looking at the generator, and then hooking up to radio beacon. And now, it normally comes turned on, but sometimes it's off. So just make sure the green light is on. Red means off. Now, you will start recruiting settlers. Normally, this could take a few days, even sometimes real life days, to get tons of settlers. But I am going to be right back with just like 20 settlers. So I'll see you in a minute. Alright, I'm back with quite a few more settlers, around 10 on average. Now, before I continue, in case you're wondering, the amount of settlers you can have is capped. The formula for the amount of settlers you can have is the number of your charisma plus 10. So if you have 7 charisma, that would be 17 settlers max for a settlement. Now, normally you have to wait an hour or two, or even more, real life, to get like 10 or 15 settlers. But I just fast forward time. So, now that we're back, you want to do... Oops, let me get rid of this bed. You want, once you got your radio beacon, your settlers, all that, normally I start going into structures, wood, prefabs, and I just straight up place down a large shack. Yeah, it's not very creative, but in the beginning, definitely helps. Once I got that down, I'll go into food, and if you want to be a pretty settlement, decorate it however much you want. But I normally grow mutt fruits. I don't have any mutt fruits, so I'll just use melons. I normally go down to a flat surface. Let me go down to a flat surface. I just place it in a row. Now, let's place 2 more. There we go. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That would be 6. We need a little bit more. Let's grow a little bit of corn. Now, I'm not doing it very neat or decorating very much, but you can do as much as you want. Make it look like a farm. You know, I'm just slopping it down to show you how to do it. Next, I'll normally head on over to water. I'm currently at North Hagen Beach, so I use water purifiers to go in the water. But if you don't, or if you don't have access to water, then I would start out next to your house or your workshop, or really wherever you want. I just like to put it on the outside because it looks kind of cool. I would normally put 3 water pumps, because that's how many settlers I normally have to start out with. But depending on how many settlers, you will need a different amount. But for me, I'm going to go stick a water purifier. And then right next to it, I stick a generator. Hook it up. Now, once you have this, you got food and you got water. Except we actually need to assign a settler. So I'll grab you, throw you down there, but it's because a settler can only be assigned to 6 units of food. I will need 1 more settler to be assigned to food. And now, if I go over food, let's see. I got that one's assigned, that one's assigned, that one is not assigned, that one's assigned. It looks like they're all assigned now. Alright, sweet. Next, I'm going to get beds up. So furniture, beds. If you're going for space, these beds are the best, but I like the look of the beds in the very end. I've been putting my beds down here. Make sure you leave a little bit of room in between the beds so that your settlers can actually get up, because they'll actually, once they wake up, they'll actually get up from the beds and walk away, but if they can't, they'll just get stuck unless you fast travel, which kind of sucks. So I need 8 beds. The rest I'll just do sleeping bags. I guess sleeping bags are actually the most space efficient, but they look very ugly. There we go, 8 beds. We're good. Alright. Next. Defense. So defense is basically your chance of being attacked, and it increases your settlement happiness. I normally place 3 guard towers, sort of in a triangle, around my main beginning shack. Just because, like, physically, my guards can cover the whole area, and because it will produce 6 defense, which is normally enough in the beginning. And if that's not, I like to place a turret, or turrets, depending on how much defense you need, top here. And if you place it just right, it can poke through a little bit to shoot. There we go, right there. And now I will also place a turret that's literally poking through. Right there. Now, quick tip, if you hold E and move your mouse around, you don't actually have to look around. You can just hold E and move your mouse around. Or hold Enter and move your mouse around, but E's a lot easier. Once you got your defense up, next is something a little different I'll be talking about. If you have the local leader perk and you don't have any crafting stations, I would start by placing a weapons workbench and an armor workbench. Wherever you want, really. I like to place it inside of my shack so that you can start modding weapons and armor. I have a video about modding to explain to you guys how that works. Now, something I will always do in the beginning of a settlement is to go to resources, miscellaneous, and there's this thing called a scavenging station. Once you place it, if you assign a settler to it, only one settler can be assigned to it, they will start literally going out in the world and scavenging for resources. They will bring it back and put it in your workshop. It is pretty useful. The more happiness you have, the more resources they get when scavenging, and the more stations you have, the more they scavenge. You cannot sleep, sit in a chair, or fast travel to pass time. You can only actually wait in-game hours. Now, I'll go assign this guy because he looks like he can survive the wasteland. Another thing is I will normally always assign my settlers with a pipe pistol and some ammo. Now, settlers, if they have 1 ammunition in their inventory, they will have infinite ammo. So you don't need to give them tons of ammo. Just give them 1 and whatever gun that is associated with that ammo type, and they can shoot forever. Later on, I like to gear all my settlers up too, but for now, this is good. Let's see, what should I talk about next? That is pretty much good for a little more in-depth guide. I like to build a concrete, or if you don't have concrete, a metal shack, I call it a shack, and put tons of generators in it. So you go to roofs, and you can use that as a floor. I just make it a 1x2. Over to walls. Let's see, you can find an actual wall somewhere. There we go. Let's see if I can snap it. Aw, darn it. It's not gonna snap. That's weird. Alright, to make it easier, I'll just go prefabs. Let's see, I will do this. And then I will go to doors. If I can find it. There we go, doorway. And I will snap it. Let's see, get it snapped the other way. There we go. And then you go structures, doors. You can choose whatever door you like. I'll just be doing regular door. Snapping system is a little fidgety. Alright. Now open up that door. Once in here, I place tons of small generators because they're the most space efficient. So I will just fast forward the part of me aligning all the generators. So let me get to that. Alright, I'm back. I've got that done. Now you're going to want to hook up all the generators. Just make sure they're all connected to a grid. Shouldn't take you too long, as long as you don't have too many. Alright, on the last generator, I purposely have sticking a little bit out the door, so I can, I guess I didn't do it right. Let me try it again. Oh, let's see, this door. I'll then press E to move something. There we go. Alright. Now, I will place a power pylon. If I can get out. So that's it. There we go. Now, I'll open up the door. And I'll place under power, connectors and switches, you'll see a power pylon. I'll just place a large one. But because I want to put it closer to my settlement, I'll do a power conduit right here. Then I'll connect it to the conduit. And then I'll place a power pylon, or a large power pylon, for here. Let's see if we can get that. Connect. Boom. There we go. Now, anything I'm going to place that's going to need power, I can just connect to that. Now from here, I can drag that anywhere I want. Now I've got mostly all the important things you will need in the settlement to start with. Once you want to start building more advanced, I would start building your own buildings instead of just using the prefabs. I would start placing more guard posts, getting more really creative, decorative. This is pretty much all the basics. Oh, also, one really important thing that I use a lot, it's not important, but it's really useful, is the Vault-Tec population management system. This acts just like a terminal, except it can do one thing that terminals can't do. And that is manage your population, which is control your settlers and all that, from a terminal. It will require power, so I'll go down to connectors and switches, conduits. I'll place one right there. Now I should be able to just hook that up. Boom. And I should be able to hook this all the way to the radio beacon, and the radio beacon all the way to here. See this big kind of grid system-ish thing I got going here? Whoa, I have no clue what that is. Must be a glitch, visual glitch. Alright, now that it's all hooked up, if you access it, you can see find jobs for the unemployed, access VIP tracker to track your companions, or what I use all the time is vocational overview. So you can see settlers you have, unemployed, farmers, scavengers, and I have one, I'll explain that actually a little later. So obviously you have 2 people farming, 2 people scavenging, and 2 unemployed. I'm going to have to assign one of those guys to defense. So I can either go manually assign them defense, or I can just access this, vocational overview, click on unemployed. I can say, it'll say, would you like to reassign your personnel? And I'll go assign to defense. And I can say 1 or 2. I'm just going to do 1 for now. And boomo, they're assigned. And now as you can see, well, you probably actually can't see, one of them is going to be assigned to defense. It is getting dark, so I'm going to sleep until the morning. I will see you when it's morning. Alright, it's morning time, and as you can tell, let's see if one of our settlers is assigned to defense. There he is! Boom! Didn't even have to get up. In the safety of our house, we assigned our settlers. So we got scavenging, we got our terminal, beds, water, food, all the basic necessities. Now, the next most important thing, or at least if you have multiple settlements, is something called a supply line. Now, what it does is it hooks up 2 settlements so that they share inventories. So that if one settlement, it's a farm, and one is scavenging resources, then and then if they're hooked up, it's like one big settlement, sort of. The way to do that is you need rank 1 of local leader, and then if you walk up to a settler, hit Q for supply line. You can send them to wherever you want, and they'll walk back and forth. But they can get killed, so make sure to be careful. I always assign, like, I have my big main settlement, which is the castle. Then I have a bunch of little settlements. Like, one's a giant farm, one has 20 scavenging stations, you know, that kind of a thing. And, yeah. So that's another really useful thing about settlements. Probably the last thing I'm going to show you is if you head down to stores. Oh, and when I was showing you that thing that said like caravan guard, whatever, that means he's the guy that was assigned to the supply lines. Now stores is interesting. It's how you can literally buy stuff from your own settlement, and it's how it produces happiness, and it produces money straight to you. So let's start with the trading stand, which you can just trade junk from. You need rank 2 of local leader, so if you don't have that, make sure to get that. Place it really wherever you want. Make sure you leave room for a settler behind it, and let's go assign a settler to it. Now it might take a while to find a settler, so again, I'll walk over to Vault Tech Population Management System, Foundational Overview. Ooh, there we go, 1 employed, assigned a junk store. Boom. And let's wait till we go. There we go. Now, if we just sleep just 1 hour, so they pretty much teleport there. Voila! Now we can just walk up. Oh, and every 24 in-game hours, it'll produce 15 caps. Rank 2 will produce 30 caps, and rank 3 will produce 60 caps per store.
Excuse me.
Now let's go up to him.
Sure, I have something you need.
Barter.
I'll take a look. Sure.
Great.
And now you can literally buy and sell from your own settlement. As you can probably tell, there's a clinic, and an armor, and a weapons workbench, and all of that. Now, this is a little bit more in-depth guide on building a settlement. I hope it helped, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!